Good morning. I want to welcome our audience for this presentation from Probatum Technologies, with headquarters in the Ohio State University Endeavor Center in Piketon, Ohio. My name is Katie Pekala, and I'll be presenting today. A pre-recorded version of this presentation will be available tomorrow via a link posted by the Court Technology Conference organizers. At our virtual booth today on a separate Zoom link is Rick Warner, who will be joined by John Warner and myself, Katie Pekala, both of whom for the past 10 years have been the technical team behind the cloud-based version of our Probatum case management system, and for the past 4 years, the team who has led the development of CASANO, an innovative integration of artificial intelligence, gaming, cloud-based, and mobile technologies we're sharing with you today. The Probatum Offender Case Manager was first introduced commercially in late 1999 to community corrections agencies in Ohio. From our location in South Central Ohio, we've seen the dramatic impact of prescription and non-prescription drug abuse on our communities. Our experience as technologists working alongside community corrections professionals across the state of Ohio, and our sincere desire to see lives change led us to believe we could substantially improve case outcomes, leading to successful restoration of offenders for the good of our communities. Our goal is to substantially increase a court-involved person's engagement with their case plan in order to provide better outcomes. That is, to develop tools for courts to do what they're already doing, more effectively and more efficiently, to save lives and reduce the financial burden on our state. This is how CASANO was born. We appreciate this opportunity to share an overview of CASANO. We've invested considerable time, effort, and financial investment to address what we all know are critical continuing needs of the courts and Ohio communities we all serve. We've titled this presentation, The Anatomy of a Challenge: How CASANO Brings New Life to a Case Plan. So, let's dig in. It's always a good idea to start by defining a few terms. Before we address our two main terms, let's first define client. By this we mean a court-involved individual, an offender, often involved as a client in some form of behavioral health treatment. Accordingly, we'll use the term case supervisor generically to refer to probation officers, drug court officers, and treatment agency case managers. The most important word we need to define today is challenge. A challenge is the key component of CASANO and the building block of a cognitive behavioral intervention. Challenges are designed to both monitor the client's participation in their case plan and stimulate behavioral change. Assignment and delivery of challenges is based on each client's targeted needs and barriers identified by a risk assessment. We should also further define CASANO. CASANO is a cloud-based mobile technology designed to deliver challenges daily to Apple or Android phones. CASANO can be implemented standalone or used as an add-on to cloud-based case management tools. CASANO consists of a mobile app called CASANO Quest for client use, and a web-based organization portal for case supervisors to initially configure the client's program at intake. The CASANO organization portal also provides case supervisors access to review clients' mobile responses for completed challenges in real time and to message clients within the CASANO Quest app. Additionally, case supervisors can download the CASANO Connect mobile app to send and receive CASANO messages on their mobile phone. As I stated earlier, our goal for CASANO is to increase the effectiveness of supervision and treatment by increasing a client's engagement with their case plan. This happens by daily automated delivery of challenges by CASANO's scheduling engine. Challenges engage clients in a dialogue, meant to work in addition to regular interactions with case supervisors. This automated dialogue amplifies and reinforces the messages and objectives targeted by the court and provides direct and regular feedback from the client to complete the communication loop. Client responses and actions within these automated conversations allow case supervisors to monitor case plan engagement, enabling insights to daily thinking patterns, attitudes, behaviors, and compliance to court-imposed orders. These daily insights should lead to improved effectiveness in the regular face-to-face interaction, leading to greater overall case management efficiency. Now, let's look a little more closely at these CASANO daily challenges and dive into the anatomy of a challenge. CASANO supports 6 types of challenges. An interview challenge consists of dynamic voice or text conversations made possible by Amazon's Lex chatbot technology used in the familiar Alexa voice assistant products. The conversation is dynamic based on the client's responses. A list challenge captures a series of short text-based submissions. Each item listed can be individually extracted for additional discussion in subsequent interview or list challenges. The check-in challenge records time-stamped geolocation submissions for events such as classes, groups, or meetings. When reviewed by the case supervisor, a map pinpoints the phone's location at the time of the check-in. Photo challenges are submitted using the built-in camera on the client's mobile device, typically to document an action, location, or even a client selfie. A worksheet challenge allows the client to provide more in-depth responses to one or more questions in a longer-form text submission. The schedule challenge captures daily start and end times for a specified event, such as a class, group, or meeting. These are used to generate later check-in challenges based on the client's input. CASANO includes a library of over 300 challenges defined for these domains, which are initially patterned after the Ohio Risk Assessment System, risk and need domains. The corresponding number of challenges currently in the library is listed next to each domain. The library is designed to be expanded and customized according to the particular needs of a given court or type of court and the development of best practices. CASANO also provides a variety of responsivity barriers identified during assessment. This library can also be expanded and customized as necessary. CASANO challenge delivery for a specific target risk or need domain is divided into 4 phases to best facilitate thinking and behavioral change. These phases are meant to mimic the generally recognized trans-theoretical model of change. Challenges in the assessment phase gather information to better inform the case plan and subsequent challenges assigned to the client. Let's take an example in the employment domain. We ask the client to discuss your employment status in an interview challenge. Challenges in the preparation phase help the client understand the need for change and the benefits of change. For example, we ask the client to complete a reflection worksheet on the reasons you discontinued employment at your previous jobs in a worksheet challenge. Challenges in the action phase prompt the client to take action on changing behaviors. For example, the client is asked to list at least 3 places of business where you submitted a job application this week in a list challenge. Challenges in the maintenance phase help the client maintain new behaviors and prevent relapse. For example, the client is asked to submit your work schedule for the upcoming week in a schedule challenge. Advancing to the next phase is contingent on completion of all challenges in the current phase or fulfilling a certain requirement, such as obtaining employment. In the event of relapse, the client can revisit an earlier phase to once again prepare for or take action on change. The systematic organization and delivery of CASANO challenges into a structure of 4-phase delivery is considered a program. Typically, 2 to 4 challenges are scheduled per day for the client during their program period. The case supervisor can define the length of the program period. It's typically 6 months to a year at minimum. Each application of the program consists of challenges from the CASANO Challenge Library based on the individual client's targeted needs and barriers identified in their case plan. Referrals to local third-party services and service providers can be created to assist in the completion of case plan objectives. CASANO uses these referrals to generate check-in challenges for the client to further customize their CASANO program. Many challenges simply collect information for use in later challenges. Sometimes this information is only used to determine if additional related challenges should be assigned. For example, an assessment phase interview challenge asks whether the client has any dependents. This information is used to determine if CASANO should assign challenges relating to parenting. Other challenges extract information gathered from a challenge and assign additional challenges to further examine the client's responses. For example, a list challenge in the preparation phase inquires about situations the client regularly encounters that trigger a desire for substance use. Each situation listed generates a follow-up interview challenge. These interview challenges are assigned during the action phase of the program and allow the client to discuss ways to avoid or manage the situations when they happen. Over time, if the client remains engaged, patterns emerge, change is evident, and a body of data is left for further study. For example, an interview challenge in the assessment phase is assigned one time and inquires about the client's issues with childcare. If the client acknowledges that finding childcare is an issue for them, a weekly interview is assigned during the action phase, asking the client if they have childcare arranged for any of their case plan events for the week, that is, their meetings, groups, etc. It also inquires if there are any barriers preventing them from doing so. This presents an opportunity to observe patterns. How frequently is the client missing programming due to a lack of childcare? Is there a lack of affordable childcare solutions available locally? Or is the client not effectively planning ahead? Or simply not taking responsibility? Continued engagement in the case plan is the key to a client's success. We've linked completion of challenges to advancement in a quest. From the client's perspective, CASANO has a familiar mobile game app appearance. The gameplay concept is designed to be interactive, and the game provides an intuitive menu and navigational framework. Each day, the client advances on the game map and unlocks new daily challenges. They can play a simple game of busting boulders to collect gems. Completing the daily challenges earns tools for the day that make the game a little more exciting and provide the opportunity to earn more in-game rewards. More challenges completed equals better tools, equals more gems collected, equals more trophy gems awarded. Every week, a loot box can be unlocked with achievements for the previous week's participation. For example, if the client completed all of their check-in challenges for the week, they would earn a navigator badge. The case supervisor can view the client's completed challenges from the organization portal and track the client's in-app achievements over time. This allows the court to link CASANO achievements earned to real-world rewards at the court's discretion. A more subtle dynamic comes from the similarities of CASANO engagement to daily interactions with social media and mobile game apps. CASANO provides a more casual, less threatening experience, leading to greater transparency earlier in the program. With a basic understanding of CASANO's challenge anatomy, we can see how CASANO can change the program dynamic. This can lead to a more efficient use of both correctional and treatment resources as a result of more effective interactions between the client and case supervisors. Now, let's zoom out to the big picture by looking at how CASANO addresses challenges facing Ohio's courts, especially our specialized docket courts. Today, we want to focus our attention on just 3. So, we'll address the data disconnect between courts and treatment providers, the lack of data uniformity, and finally, the lack of detailed data. Let's first dive into the data disconnect. In February of this year, the Ohio Supreme Court announced an initiative to help bridge the information gap between the criminal justice system and healthcare providers as part of a landmark achievement for treating people struggling with substance use disorders by reporting drug court information to the Ohio Board of Pharmacy. Quoting Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor, who said, "The specialized docket courts and the treatment community have always sought innovative ways to tackle the drug epidemic. This is the latest example of Ohio being at the forefront with alternative measures to address complex issues." Unquote. In addition to monthly or annual surveys used to gather broad program data, CASANO enables clients to provide information directly regarding treatment and rehabilitation progress on a daily basis as life happens, when insights are fresh and less inhibited, 24/7, 365. Consequently, case supervisors are able to monitor engagement, progress, and relapse daily in near real time. More importantly, CASANO provides direct, unfiltered access to client feedback regarding the evidence and extent of progress that result from costly treatment programs, a direct indication of value for services funded in large part by Medicaid funds. Now let's take a look at the lack of data uniformity. CASANO represents an opportunity for policymakers to establish a standardized data collection portal and repository for unfiltered input from court-involved individuals during the period in which they are receiving behavioral health treatment and during aftercare. This repository has the potential to provide the court with considerable insight to factors leading to recovery or relapse, successful reentry, or recidivism. If deployed broadly by Ohio's specialized docket courts, judges and policymakers could be assured that data collected by one court would be comparable to data collected by another court because of a uniform definition of data elements collected by CASANO, creating a common reference dictionary. This uniform mechanism of automated data collection would be enabled and operable 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, 365 days per year. With the basis for the collection of broad categories of correctional, behavioral health, and social service case management data, courts have the necessary tools for making evidence-based decisions to support continuous improvement and program quality management initiatives for establishing best practices. The last item we'll discuss is the lack of detailed data. Case supervisors generally develop a sense of progress for their clients. CASANO provides a series of breadcrumbs for case practitioners to trace those conditions and influences that prove to be indicative of ultimate outcomes. Because CASANO promotes daily engagement with the client's case plan, indications of a client's willingness to engage in small daily interventions becomes immediately apparent. As we've already stated, the purpose of CASANO is to deliver risk-based, customized daily challenges to monitor and change thinking patterns, attitudes, behaviors, and compliance to court-imposed supervision orders. The frequent gathering of information greatly enhances the effectiveness of the face-to-face counseling time between the client and the case supervisors. This means earlier and more frequent opportunities for course correction, leading to higher success rates. Here is an actual challenge review screen captured by a case supervisor in January. Take a moment to read the client's responses. This was an opportunity for celebration with the client and to offer words of encouragement for the client to stay the course. This is what change looks like. Our limited time today has allowed only a brief opportunity to demonstrate how CASANO can help close the gap between court and treatment providers while providing a rich repository of detailed data upon which a culture of continuous improvement can lead to system-wide best practices and correctional research. CASANO is technology innovation in the fight against addiction and hopelessness, an opportunity to be an example, as Chief Justice O'Connor expressed, of Ohio being at the forefront with alternative measures to address complex issues. The challenges are great, but together we can help bring about necessary change in the lives of our family members, our friends, and our neighbors. For additional information, visit our virtual booth at our second Zoom link today until 2 p.m. For demo videos, implementation details, and costs, visit our website at www.casano.io and submit an information request, or contact Rick Warner directly with the information provided. Once again, a pre-recorded version of this presentation will be available tomorrow at the conference website. Thank you for choosing to spend this time with us today and for your attention. This concludes the CASANO presentation. Have a great day.